A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members, and yes, it has just been about 6 to 7 hours ago that India lost the second ODI against the West Indies in Barbados. Now, 1-1 in a 3-match series against a team that has not qualified for the ODI World Cup itself. Yes, questions will be asked. Lot of criticism will be directed at the Indian cricket team because in this match, they rested Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. So, in a ODI World Cup year, with less than about 10 to 11 games to go before their October 8th encounter against Australia and Chennai, why would you want to rest certain key players? Considering that some of your core members are still recovering at the NCA and are not yet sure as to when they will come back to the Indian cricket team, why would you want to rest certain players? Here, I will give you two versions of this experimentation that is there in this morning wrap. One that Hardik Pandya stated and the other what Rahul Dravid, the head coach, stated after the end of the match. So Hardik Pandya, when he came out to lead the Indian cricket team in the second ODI at Barbados, we all felt maybe is it an injury concern for Rohit Sharma? But his one statement was really problematic when he said that Rohit and Virat have been playing constant cricket and that is the reason we have rested them. We also want to know the answers as to certain players as to how they will cope up with all of this. So, players have to be tested out so that in a worst case scenario, they can be called up in the Indian cricket team if there is a major issue. So, Rohit and Virat were rested and they wanted to find out how the team can cope up without them. The answer was evident. They cannot. Because the main issue that the Indian cricket team is facing at this point is your backups to your core are not performing. Suryakumar Yadav is not performing. Sanju Samson, he got only one game, but that was his first game since November 2022. And yet you are expecting miracles out of him from a pitch that was quite tricky. Yes, India's batters let themselves down. And that is why this experimentation now probably may have given you more questions than answers. But Rahul Dravid, the head coach, has given an explanation as to why this experimentation was needed. Because Rahul Dravid in the post-match press conference, he stated, we know that there are several people who are dealing with injuries at the NCA and we are sweating. This isn't the words that you sweating, but he is in a way indirectly worried about the situation that is facing the likes of KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, the batters in particular. We know that Jasprit Bumrah is going to come back for the Ireland series, but Rahul Dravid says in case of a worst case scenario, get these players match ready so that we can call upon them in a worst case scenario. Fine, the Indian cricket team are following a process that yes, the worst case scenario is been looked at. But if the Indian cricket team is really sweating on the likes of KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer, and that was something that we pointed out yesterday in the post-match analysis on Sports Today, then India have every reason to be worried. Because there are two ways to look at it. One, in a ODI World Cup year, with your majority of your core members injured, it makes sense to play with your senior players throughout. There is also one more mitigating factor in all of this. Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, before the Barbados ODI, they last played in February-March against Australia. After that, Virat Kohli has not even batted. Rohit Sharma at least got to bat in one ODI and that too lower down the order. Then mostly if they don't play in the third ODI at Charuba, then they are going to have another 25-day break before the Asia Cup begins. So, how much of cricket and how much of experimentation is all worth it? We don't know about that. So, that is why India versus West Indies now has thrown up a lot more questions than answers. And unfortunately, because of the injury situation that is confronting many players in the Indian cricket team, this experimentation will have to continue. If they do it in the Asia Cup, panic stations. Press the panic button, be very negative, be cynical as much as you want, because your core has been totally dismantled then in that process. All hail Stuart Broad, maybe Sir Stuart Broad after his accomplishments, because today, most likely, it will be his final day in his 17-year professional career. And what better way to do it than beating Australia at the Oval? Remember, Oval about 14 years ago, Stuart Broad announced himself to the world that he is there as one of the best with that haul of 5 for 37. Here, at the Oval, 14 years later, his final international game in his professional career. What a career Stuart Broad has had, and kudos, he's always had the better of the old enemy, 150 plus wickets, the only bowler in Test history to achieve this against Australia. What a phenomenal achievement. Stuart Broad, go well, and one hopes for England fans will be hoping that Stuart Broad delivers, because if he does well today, then England might most likely draw the series 2-2, but the Ashes will remain in Australia. 2024 is a T20 World Cup year. T20Is will be the norm. You'll be playing a lot more T20Is. In this particular tournament, the IPL is going to hold massive importance. Now, there is an exclusive input that has been given to Sports Today about the BCCI, about the IPL schedule. Now, there's one more thing aside from the World Cup that might determine when the IPL might be played. The general elections. Now remember, 2024, in addition to being a T20 World Cup year, for the Indian ethos, it is also a general election year. The Lok Sabha elections are going to be held from May onwards. Hosting the IPL in between that could be a logistical nightmare. But the BCCI has stated that no, we are capable of hosting the IPL entirely in India, and that is why the IPL could begin by March mid and end by mid-May. Which means if that happens, if it ends by mid-May, then IPL and the players, they will get ample time to prepare for the World T20 that will be held in the West Indies and the Caribbean. That itself may not be a guarantee that India will do well, but at least it gives the players time to overcome the fatigue factor. March to May, they will be playing the IPL, and mid-May, most likely the tournament will end because of the Lok Sabha elections. So that is one major good news for the Indian cricket team, because they will want to overcome the fatigue factor. Major update on Jasprit Bumrah. According to reports in the media, Jasprit Bumrah has been bowling to Mumbai batters at the NCA, and he's practicing really hard. So that is one major indication that yes, in order to get game time, Jasprit Bumrah will play the 3 T20Is against Ireland, and then after he bowls against Ireland, he might be slotted back in the Indian cricket team for the Asia Cup that will begin from August 30th onwards. So, big update when it comes to Jasprit Bumrah. Remember, we need India's main spearhead to be on full fitness, because another breakdown and he can kiss India's World Cup chances goodbye, because Bumrah holds the key in whatever ways you look at it. From cricket, let us shift to other sports, and yesterday we saw the sprint race at Spa-Francorchamps, and Max Verstappen put out a stunning performance to win. But Lewis Hamilton, unfortunately, he was classified as finished 4th, but because he caused the collision that resulted in Carlos Sainz getting out, Sergio Perez getting out, that was the reason that 5 seconds were added to him, and he slipped out of the top 10th. So the 5-second penalty imposed on Lewis Hamilton unfortunately saw him finish out of the points in the sprint race. Max Verstappen was number 1, and Max Verstappen might start on pole today, but remember, he's got a 5-place grid penalty, so he will start on 6th. Charles Leclerc will start on pole for the Belgian Grand Prix that will start today on Sunday. Remember, rain is expected at Spa-Francorchamps, and the last time we had rain about 2 years back, it was chaotic to say the least. So even the sprint race ended with rain at this point, but then it ended up in bright sunshine towards the later half. So Spa-Francorchamps today, the race is there, F1 Belgian Grand Prix. One hopes that Max Verstappen can make it up and continue his winning run. Charles Leclerc or Lewis Hamilton, do they have a chance? Maybe. All hail the new swimming king, queen, emperor of the world, or the empress of the world, because at Fukuoka in the World Aquatics Championships, Katie Ledecky has ensured that she is one of the greatest swimmers in the world, even overtaking Michael Phelps, because when she won her 16th gold at the Aquatics World Championship, she overtook even Michael Phelps. So Katie Ledecky, the queen of swimming, the empress of swimming, whatever you may want to call it, perhaps the greatest of all time when it comes to swimming. Kudos to Katie Ledecky for ensuring that she continues to push the barriers of excellence every single day. And finally, we end with some good news for the India women's hockey team. Now remember, they are playing the 100th centenary anniversary of the Spanish Hockey Federation, and there, after drawing against Spain and England, Lal Simria's hat-trick ensured that India won 3-0 against England. Now in their final league game, they are going to end, they're potentially going to end on top of the table. So that is a great way for India women's team to ensure that they end their European tour on the ultimate high. Remember, they are not won much in the European leg of hockey, so that is why it is a great achievement indeed. One hopes that they can finish on top and come back to India with the ultimate of highs. So today we are going to build up to a lot of events. The Ashes is going to begin day 4. We hope that the rain stays away because there's 90% chances of rain on Sunday, and Monday also the weather is looking a little bleak at this point. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.